Hi Twin Flames, it's Lisa here from Lisa's Twin Flame Coaching. I've had some of you asking me a very good question, which I also had on my journey. And that question is, will I ever feel happy again? And if you are really on a twin flame journey, if you are really going through a spiritual awakening, you will have this question at times. The ongoing challenges of waking up, the ongoing challenges of dealing with a twin flame are going to make you question your sanity. They're going to be some of the hardest and darkest times of your life. And you are going to wonder, will I ever feel happy again? And the answer to this question, fortunately, is a big yes. So the journey can take many months, many years. It can be ongoing, but it does kind of reach a plateau. It does come to a little bit of a head where everything starts to get better. So the dissolving of the ego happens, the breaking away of anything that was in alignment with your old self does happen. My dog, I'm so sorry. He ruins every video I'm making. I'm going to put a picture up of him so you guys can see who the troublemaker is in every one of my videos. He's just, he's a dash hound and they love being really close to their owners. So every time I film or do anything, he's right there. So I apologize for all the interference from my dog. Back to the topic. So I forgot what I was saying now. Sorry, I'm very authentic. I'm very real. I don't fluff about. So you either like me or you hate me. I forgot what I was saying. I think I was talking about you're going to start losing everything that's out of alignment with your true self. And this happens because the pre-awakened version of yourself was subject to programming and conditioning, and you had built your world around the beliefs of others. So you may have built your world around your parents' beliefs, what society expects from you as maybe as a female or a male. You may have gone into a job that pays well and looks good on paper, but may not be truly making you happy. There is a number of things that are aligned to your pre-awakened self that as you start to awaken, as you start to break free of the matrix, anything that you were doing from prior conditioning will collapse. And this is where the journey is very hard, and you'll have dark days. You'll have days where you don't want to get out of bed. I had days where all I could do was kind of sob and cry, and I mean like really ugly crying, deep sobbing from the soul, a lot of stored trauma and pain that I didn't really know I had, all broke free and came to the surface. So there's quite a large part of the journey where you're going through emotional chaos. Your 3D may be in pieces. You may be going through a divorce. You may have to end a relationship that you've been in for a really long time. You may be losing finances. You may be unemployed right now because you can't get to work because you're so distracted with your twin flame. You may be dealing with legal matters because you have a restraining order against you because you harassed your twin flame. There could be so many things going on. Perhaps you're dealing with separation with an ex and dealing with custody of kids, or you're moving house right now. Or there's so many things that can be going on because everything kind of has to collapse before it can get better. So I call it going through hell to get to heaven. And nobody likes the hell part. Nobody wants to be in hell for very long, but you kind of have to go there. You have to break open. You have to lose a lot before everything you could ever wish and dream of can be restored to you. But whilst you're going through those dark periods, whilst you may be on the floor sobbing or unable to participate in society or even function normally, you are going to wonder, am I going to be stuck this way forever? Am I going to be stuck, miserable, unhappy, and hurting forever? But you are not going to be. I mean, I will be honest, it took me 3.5 years to get to union, and that can sound like a long time, but when I look back now, it feels like it kind of went very quickly, and it was worth it. So everything I now have is a result of going through that journey, and it's so worth it. But at the time, during those 3.5 long, tedious years, I felt like my life was ending. I felt like I was broken. I felt like I was never going to be able to love again. I felt like I was not able to earn money or hold down a job because I was in such emotional chaos. So if that's you right now, if that's you on this journey, then I want you to have faith, and I want you to know that you have to kind of surrender. You have to let everything crumble before it can get better. So going through the dark parts, going through the dissolving of the ego, breaking out of matrix mentality, starting to see the truths of the universe, starting to get to know who you are, that all is painful. You have to lose a lot to unlearn everything that you've ever been told. So ascension and awakening isn't really learning new stuff. It's unlearning what you already have been told. So it's returning back to soul and authenticity, which means shedding all the layers of false beliefs, of patterns and behaviors that we thought were serving us but were toxic and harmful. It might mean getting out of relationships that were mediocre and they weren't where you were flourishing. Perhaps you have to leave a marriage because you've met your twin flame now, and you realize that you weren't that happy there. And anyone who's gone through a divorce or a marriage breakup knows that that's very challenging. You lose finances, you go through emotional stress, you may have to move properties. All of those big life-changing events are very challenging to deal with. So again, you must surrender. You must see the higher good here and know that the divine is trying to remove anything that wasn't serving your highest good, so it can replace it with everything that is for your highest good. And that can include your twin flame. If you choose to have a physical connection with your twin, that's going to include them. But it's not just about the twin. It's also about you living your best life. It's about you finding what you came here to do. It's about you making sure you have equally yoked partnership, and that you're not settling for toxic friends or toxic partners, or that you're not stuck in patterns. So as you break free of people-pleasing behaviors, as you start to improve your self-worth and put yourself first, you're going to lose a lot of people who preferred the older version of yourself. People who preferred the version of you that abandoned yourself or put them above you. A lot of those people aren't going to like watching you change, and they're going to move away from you. And it's going to feel like a loss. It's going to feel painful, but it's actually a blessing in disguise. So during all of this transformation, as we are, coming back to alignment and reaching unity consciousness, it's very rough. Those 3.5 years for me were so rough. I barely wonder sometimes how I made it through. I was very alone. Nobody understood what I was going through. I was trying to still parent my children. I was trying to act like I had everything together, but on the inside, I was a crumbling mess. And now I can understand. Now I'm on the other side, and I've come through the journey, and I'm living, in glorious happiness. I can now understand why that had to happen. So your brighter day will come. The sun will shine again for you. It's just about timing. So it's about hanging on during the darkness. It's about being brave when you have to let go of one thing after another. It's about confronting all of your fears. It's about feeling the pain as your twin flame may be rejecting you. It's going through so many dark and hard times to finally get to the beautiful kingdom of God. So the irony here is that the kingdom is within you. The kingdom isn't anything external. It's a feeling, and it's within all of us. So every twin flame has that ability to reach a place of, pure light and happiness, and to find this kingdom of God which resides in all of us. Okay, so if you feel like you're going to be stuck in this misery indefinitely, or that it's never going to get better, I fully relate, because I had that same fear. I thought like I was never going to get better, or I was never going to enjoy life again. But you do come out the other side. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And here again, I mean, many of you know I had 2 coaches to get me through. I do recommend getting a coach. They can shortcut your journey. They can show you what you need to do to get out of pain, to get out of the mind, and to stop suffering. So if I can help you in any way, please reach out. I am on Facebook. I am on Messenger. You're welcome to join my Facebook groups or to send me a message. Thank you so much for listening to me. Please don't give up. The better days are waiting for you. The journey does get better. And when you get to the other side, you will realize that everything you went through was a blessing in disguise. Everything you went through was to give you everything that you could ever truly want. All right. God bless everybody, and I'll see you next time.